Hello everyone and welcome to Garage 360. Today I have with me the Redmi Note 10s. Now this is a kind of an upgrade to the Redmi Note 10. It gets a better processor and an improved primary rear camera. So let's go ahead, unbox this device and take our first look. Now if you're new here, I will recommend you to subscribe to the Garage 360 YouTube channel and click on that bell icon so that you are notified whenever we upload a new video. Let's begin. So this is what the box of the Redmi Note 10s looks like. And it does mention a few key specifications on the box. So it's got a 64 megapixel AI quad camera, full HD plus AMOLED display, and a few other specifications mentioned at the back as well. So it's got a MediaTek Helio G95 processor and a 5000 mAh battery. There's a lot more, so let's go ahead, unbox the device and take our first look at it. The Redmi phone is the first thing out, and wow, it's a different color here. So this is the deep sea blue color variant of the Redmi Note 10s. It's a gradient finish. What do you think about it? Do let me know that. It's a fresh new color, looks nice. So I'm going to quickly power it on, keep it aside, and let's check what else do we get in the box. So you have the SIM eject tool here, a couple of documentation and a case that comes in the box. So that's a nice addition here. There's nothing else here, so I'll quickly put this aside and take a look at the charger. So get a 33 watt charger in the box. It's a big brick. It's got a USB type A port, orange color highlight there, and the cable that you get in the box is a USB type A to USB type C. Again, orange highlights here, so it does look a little different. So I'm gonna put that aside, pack it up, and let's take a look at the phone now. I'm going to quickly set the phone up, and as you can see, it runs MIUI 12.5. Now this is the latest, and I think this is the first smartphone to run MIUI 12.5 out of the box. I'm going to quickly set the phone up and then talk you through all the specifications of this device. So now we have the option of setting up screen lock. So let's go with the fingerprint setup. As you can see, it's got a side mounted fingerprint scanner, just like some of the other Xiaomi phones we've recently seen. Now the placement is quite good. It's very easy to reach when you're holding the device. It's on the right side along with the volume buttons. As you can see, it's very quick to register the fingerprint. It does give you the option to check a few other options. I'm going to switch off personalized ads. I'm not a big fan of glance for me, so I'm going to switch that off as well. And the next step, you do have the option to choose between a classic look and the one with an app drawer. Now it all depends on what kind of a layout you prefer. I prefer the app drawer, so that's the one I'm going to choose. Now the setup does recommend a couple of apps to install while you're setting it up using Get Apps. So I'm not a big fan of a lot of pre-installed apps on the device, so I'm going to skip this. So now that we have set up the Redmi Note 10s, I'm going to quickly run you through the specifications of the device. So at the front, you've got a big 6.43 inch AMOLED display. Now this has 450 nits of brightness with 1100 nits of peak brightness. It's got full HD plus resolution, and it's got Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. Now it is powered by a MediaTek Helio G95 SoC, which is a gaming processor, and we've seen it on other Xiaomi phones as well. The UI feels smooth, quickly scroll through it without any issues. It's got a hole punch at the top, which has a 13 megapixel selfie camera. Let's quickly turn around and check the back. So it's got a quad camera setup here with a 64 megapixel primary camera. So it is a 64 megapixel wide angle camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with a 118 degree field of view, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And there's a flash right next to the primary camera as well. The button placement is quite good. It's all on the right. It's very easy to use and the buttons are reachable, so it's very easy to unlock the smartphone while holding it. It's got the SIM tray slot to the left, so we'll quickly pop that open and check the configuration that we get. And as you can see, it's got a 3-slot configuration, so you get 2 nano SIM slots and a dedicated micro SD card slot, so storage expansion is possible without losing SIM functionality here. It's got a tiny rubber seal around as well, which helps this phone get the IP53 certification, so it is splash proof to some extent. Now the phone is quite thin, so that is something I like about it. It does pack in a 5000 mAh battery in it. So quickly remove the sticker so that you get a clear look at the back. So now that we've covered most of the hardware, let's quickly check the software. So Xiaomi does mention that it's running an interim update of MIUI 12.5. Now it is running the April Android security patch, which is recent and acceptable, and it is running on top of Android 11. Xiaomi does offer 3 variants of the Redmi Note 10S. The base variant has 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. The mid variant gets you 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, whereas the top end model gets you 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Now this is LPDDR4X RAM and UFS 2.2 storage. Quickly taking a look at the app drawer, you can see that it does have some pre-installed apps on it. Now the phone does not feel very heavy and it's easy to manage. At the bottom it has the USB Type-C port, the 3.5mm headphone jack and the primary speaker. Now this phone has got stereo speakers, so at the top you also have another speaker along with an IR blaster, which is quite common on Redmi smartphones, with a secondary microphone right next to it. So let's check the fingerprint scanner, and as you can see it's very quick to unlock. So I am going to test out this smartphone completely, taking a look at the cameras and how the smartphone performs in our benchmarks and our battery test. So if you do want to know how good the Redmi Note 10S is, do stay tuned for the full review. So that was a quick look and our first impressions of the Redmi Note 10S. Now what do you think about the smartphone and this color in particular? Do let me know that in the comment section down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.